Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. So, on today's episode, we've got an episode from a brand new series that I'm calling Head to Head, and I'm really excited about this new series. It's a community-driven series, and you may have already seen a post on it, but if not, let me explain. So, not too long ago, I put up a post on the community tab about this brand new type of episode. In that post, there was a link to a survey with a very simple question: who is more annoying, Sen Triplets or Narset Enlightened Master? And then there were two optional follow-up questions where you could leave a comment and then your name if you wanted a shout out. Now, I wasn't sure at first what people would think about this new type of episode, but the feedback was incredible. Thousands of people filled out the survey and seemed really excited for this new type of episode. So first off, I want to thank everyone who filled out the survey, commented, and gave feedback. If everyone seems to enjoy these kinds of episodes, I'm excited to keep doing more of them. And of course, the questions and topics on these episodes that people are going to vote on are going to vary. It's not always just going to be who is more annoying. The question could be which card is more overpowered, which is more underrated, which is more in need of a reprint, and so on and so forth. So I hope that you enjoy this episode because I'm really excited to do more of these in the future. And with all that said, let's dive into this first one. So again, the question is, who is more annoying, Sen Triplets or Narset Enlightened Master? Each of these are notorious cards in Commander for a reason. And you, the community, provided plenty of reasons as to why one is more annoying than the other. So first up, let's go through the cards, then we'll go through your comments, and then we'll talk about the results. So first up, let's talk about Sen Triplets. Sen Triplets is a 3/3 human wizard that costs 2 white, blue, black. It has at the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. This turn, that player can't play spells or activate abilities and plays with their hand revealed. You can play cards from that player's hand this turn. And in the other corner, we've got Narset Enlightened Master. Narset is a 3/2 human monk with first strike and hexproof and costs 3 blue, red, white. She has whenever Narset Enlightened Master attacks, exile the top 4 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast non-creature cards exile with Narset this turn without paying their mana cost. And now that we know what both commanders do, let's talk about your thoughts on which is more annoying. Let's start things off with the comments from those who said that Sen Triplets is more annoying than Narset. Jordan from North Carolina says, the Triplets take away my cards, Narset decks use their own cards. So essentially, Sen Triplets plays with your deck and Narset doesn't. Mander from Cali has a similar view, saying, they steal your cards, so not only are they up cards, but you have nothing. So essentially they get card advantage on top of you getting card disadvantage. And then Haley says, Sen Triplets interferes with fun for one person in particular, but Narset just wins. So the fact that Sen Triplets targets one player can be a feel-bad when you're the one that's affected. Next up, Sure says, I would rather someone combo off than watch my own plans directly ruined via my own cards. So essentially losing to a combo is more acceptable than losing to your own cards. And then we've got Utah Brad who says, Sen Triplets turns a game of Magic into a game of Solitaire very quickly. Usually I came to play Magic, but if someone is playing my deck for me, it gets pretty irritating when I get shut out of playing. Narset allows for whiffs, which gives chances that don't affect your board state. Sen Triplets always hits hard. Next up, Caleb from Minnesota says, when you play against Narset, you can still play Commander. However, Sen Triplets takes the gameplay away from you, punishing you with the cards you have. So Sen Triplets can effectively shut you out and beat you with your own cards. Shasta from California has a similar sentiment, saying having someone play your cards is soul-crushing. When you build your own deck, you kinda want to play your own cards, and when someone else plays them, it might not be as fun for you. Next up, Joan from Southern Illinois says, at least with Narset, it can go pretty quickly, or you can just scoop once they hit a critical mass of extra turns in combats. In my experience, Sen Triplets just turns into a long, drawn-out case of the feel-bads, where you're only playing Magic by way of sitting at the table while someone is playing all the best parts of your deck for themselves. So the length of the game is definitely a factor as well. And then Anonymous from Croatia says, an easily stoppable combo deck with failure potential is incalculably more fun to play against than a deck that plays my deck for me, and the former isn't very fun to play against. So neither might be fun, but one is worse. A similar statement comes from Oliver from California, who says, even though Narset is near impossible to kill due to hexproof and usually the player ends the game taking all the turns, to me there is nothing more annoying than watching your opponent play and kill you with your own cards. So again, perhaps Narset is still evil, but the lesser of two evils. Next up, Dana from Utah says, I don't mind losing, I just want to lose against their deck, not my own cards. So essentially losing to yourself but not your opponent's deck is not fun. And then Will S says, the most annoying thing that can happen in Magic is not being able to play Magic. For the entire time the triplets are on the field, one player gets the privilege of having another player play for them. For as long as the triplets are out, it's nothing but watching someone else have fun for you. So getting shut out, not being able to play Magic, and watching someone else have fun with your cards is not fun. And finally, Feast from Earth keeps it simple with, don't touch my cards. I think that one pretty much speaks for itself. So in summary, Sen Triplets is annoying for a few reasons. They play with your cards, they stop players from playing, and they only win with other players' decks. But now it's time for us to move on to our other contenders, so let's talk about the comments from the players that said that Narset is more annoying. Ben from New Jersey starts off with a short and sweet comment with, in a word, hexproof. Hexproof can make a commander extremely hard to deal with and stop in a lot of situations. Following up on that, D-Mage from the EDH Discord says, Sen Triplets offers avenues of interaction that Narset does not. You can Assassin's Trophy, swords, etc., and you can't do that with Narset. All the Narset player needs is a counterspell and an attack step to be able to combo off and win. So players not being able to interact or feel like they have a chance is something that can definitely annoy people. Next up, Kyle from Vermont says, usually an endless amount of taking turns. Triplets has some deck building restriction and usually is only as powerful as the opponent's decks. One-sided, taking all the turns, and one-note gameplay is boring for me. I enjoy some spice, randomness, i.e. unique games of Commander. So seeing the same thing over and over again can definitely get boring. And then Israel from North Carolina shares a personal experience with, had a game where a friend of mine took over 45 minutes on his turn with Narset, doing extra turns and casting other spells. He didn't even win during that turn. So a player essentially playing solitaire and not even winning can definitely aggravate other players. Next up, we've got Dre Coastal Wizard, who says, I see Narset decks as a ticking time bomb both figuratively and literally due to how easy it is to abuse Narset and how explosive their turns could be. I feel that this is one of many decks that fall into the same loop, getting boring after honestly one time playing. So it might be interesting playing against this kind of deck the first time, but after that, you really don't want to play against the deck again. Charlie from Ohio brings together some previous points with, Narset is more annoying due to the fact that the deck can whiff. However, it is impossible to know until it does happen, and also has hexproof, which makes it worse. So multiple factors might lead into Narset being more annoying. Next up, Raul from Chile says, I think that playing against Narset is more annoying because you can't really do much once they get started. Sen Triplets is a deck that can be held back if you work together, and if you can't control it, well, at least you can see your deck working on the Sen Triplets board. So Sen Triplets might be a deck that you can more easily work together to stop. And then Tai the Shy Guy says, I personally would rather try and fight stolen things from my deck than sit across from someone playing Solitaire, because at least when I'm fighting my stuff, I'm playing Magic still. So essentially, playing Magic, even if you're playing against your own things, is still better than not playing Magic at all. And then Blake from Corpus Christi says, with Sen Triplets, you need to fix your mana to be able to play other players' cards as well as having the mana. With Narset, you can attack and you have free cards. So cheating on mana cost is definitely a factor in this as well. And finally, Loris from Avellino, Italy says, Commander is a multiplayer game. So essentially, the Narset player is just playing a game of Solitaire and not interacting with others or not allowing others to interact. So in summary, Narset decks are annoying for these reasons. It's just a game of Solitaire with extremely long turns and she's hard to interact with. So now that we've gone through the comments on why which is more annoying than the other, which one is actually more annoying? Well, I tallied up the votes in the winner, or I guess the loser is Sen Triplets. 57.5% of you said that Sen Triplets is more annoying than Narset. So apparently potentially not being able to play and losing to your own cards is more annoying than to a long and drawn out potential combo that might whiff. I thought this was a really interesting head-to-head and I was really excited to see the results. So a big thanks to everyone who participated in this. I was blown away by the response. But now it's time for you to vote on the next head-to-head with who is more overpowered, Corvold Faker as King or Urza Lord High Artificer. You can find the link to the survey in the description below. And again, when you're voting, make sure that you share your opinion and your comment might get featured on the episode just like the ones were today. I can't wait to see your comments and the results for this one. And with that, this show has come to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what you think a good head-to-head question would be and what two cards would you pit against each other. I mean, who knows? You might just see your question on this show. So yeah, comment below, and as always, thanks again and have a good one.